Welcome to the Philippines, home to some of the most dangerous beaches in the world, but we'll get onto that a little later. Tropical island hopping paradise with the most crystal clear waters, golden sand beaches, and some of the most easily accessible coral reefs I have ever seen. A short 30-minute flight from Manila will land you in this exotic landscape, which offers an array of extremely affordable boat trips, which is absolutely the things you love to see. We've been here for 3 nights, and I'll be covering 2 day trips we did from the island of Coron, and a little bonus brunch / dinner recommendation. Silly value here for food, and both the boat trips came in under £25 each day, and that's also lunch included. Absolutely top drawer. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. We're still en route to 2K subscribers. Unbelievable year so far, and lots more exploring to be done. Let's get into it, baby. Day number 1, and the team were on the super ultimate boat tour. All the trips from Coron go to like 99% of the same places. They just do them in different order to kind of space out the amount of tourists and people in each location, which is a good bit of logistics from them. Kicking off in number 1 was Kayangan Lake. I'll overlay the names as we kind of go through because I've no doubt I'll absolutely butcher them. It's about a 30-minute boat ride from Coron. We went through like a little cove, and then obviously the boat stopped. This is the only place where I'd say you don't need good fitness, but like just be aware that you have to climb over, I'm going to say a hill. It's pretty steep. You go up kind of some steps. It's probably about 15 minutes up and then down the other side. All the other ones are a lot more accessible. There's a few ladies struggling, some American ladies with bad fitness. It's the things you hate and actually love to see because it's actually pretty annoying. But yeah, once you get to the other side, it was pretty busy in parts, but you can kind of spread out. There's a boardwalk going all the way down the left-hand side of the cove and all the way down the right-hand side. What was really interesting about this was it was super salty, so it was really buoyant. You did have to wear your life jacket in the 2 lakes and the lagoon at the end, but anytime you can go to like the coral bits and swimming out at sea, you don't need to wear that, so obviously you can dive down a little bit deeper. The most turquoise waters you have ever seen. Beautiful settings, spots to jump in, little spots if you need to climb in and out of the water on a ladder itself. But yeah, just a phenomenal way to kick off the day. But obviously, yeah, it was good to do the kind of the hikey one first, and then obviously the more relaxed ones a little bit later. So yeah, we kind of chilled about here for a bit. We probably had about 30 to 45 minutes in total, and then there's a little spot where you can go and get photos, because like I say, it was about a 15-minute walk up and out of like one valley, or I guess area, and then into the where the lake was. So it was a nice little viewpoint at the top looking down onto the boat itself. So yeah, top draw to kick off. And then in stop number 2, we're at Barracuda Lake. For me, one, it was a 5-minute sail ride to this place from stop number 1. Very similar, so you didn't have to walk up and out. So if you are only going to do one and your fitness is pretty terrible, then I would go to Barracuda Lake, because it was, yeah, very similar but a lot more accessible. It was, the only issue with this one is, and this was kind of maybe our boat trip in general, is that they always parked at the back of all the boats. So if you've got a driver who's pretty confident parks at the front, you would have literally had like a 2-3 minute walk, but ours parked right at the back, and we had to swim from where ours was probably all the way to the front, and then the small walk across. So again, you probably need to swim by 200-300 meters here. It's not very deep, and there were people who couldn't swim who were getting pulled along, but again, just something to be wary of. The water here, super toasty around the edge, but it was a lot deeper in sections. So if you're a bit worried about deeper water and dark water, then Kayangan Lake is for you. If you're not too worried about that and you want somewhere a little bit more accessible, Barracuda Lake is the spot. A couple of different places here where you could buy snacks, drinks, beers. Saw an absolute genius bloke. So everyone's got the waterproof cases for their phones. He's put his beer money in the case itself. So he's got his priorities pretty straight. I don't have as much footage on this because obviously, like I say, we had to swim about 300 meters to get there. So yeah, didn't really want to risk the phone. So I'll overlay a couple of clips of just kind of the wider day and stuff. But if you do have any questions, as always, bang it in the comments itself. A lot more fish in this one. A couple of zebrafish and a couple of rainbow fish. And one did have a little nibble on Emma's leg as she was getting out of the water, but nothing too fatal. We build. Stop number 3. Again, all the journeys between these places are super short, like 5-10 minutes, which is ideal. You spend a lot more time exploring in the water, getting amongst it, rather than just sat on the boat going out to sea, which was an issue with boat day number 2 tomorrow. But Banal Beach, This is absolute tropical paradise, golden sands, beautiful turquoise waters, lovely setting as we kind of came into the cove itself. Different sort of spots here if you wanted to either buy food or if you wanted to buy like a coconut. Me and Em got these coconuts. I'm not even joking. Each one had about a litre of coconut water in. They were like bigger than our heads. Ridiculous scenes. This is where we had lunch. So we probably stopped here for about an hour, hour and a half, get in the water, go for a swim, get some flared JPEGs. And if you're speaking of flared JPEGs, I'm not sure what you're doing. If you're not following me on Insta, it's linked down below, Gareth Wright 2, drop me a follow there. The lunch itself, I thought was really good. Do you know what I mean? You're in the middle of nowhere. They cook on the boat as you're going around. You've got like different meats, different fishes, a little bit of salad number, and then like you only get one small bottle of water. So there's one tip from this is to make sure to bring a big bottle of water to keep yourself hydrated throughout the day, and they're pretty good with allergies. Told them about my nut allergy and they sorted me right out. So once you're fueled up, ready to go again, stop number 4, Skeletal Shipwreck. So this place, obviously I'm not gonna say out at sea because you are kind of near the shore itself, but this is a place where you can wear a life jacket, but if you kind of wanna dive down a little bit, swim in the water and see the wreck close up, you can swim without a life jacket on, but you can still wear the life jacket and you can still see the shipwreck. I'm not sure what these pirates were doing, but they were sailing pretty bloody close to shore itself. All the water in all these stops is absolutely boiling, like nothing I've ever experienced before. But again, you're getting the crystal clear waters. It's super turquoise. It's just an absolute ruthless setting. Em was in there snorkeling. I was taking a few JPEGs, and then yeah, I'd probably say it was like a 5-10 minute swim to where the shipwreck was. But again, that's just because our driver was parked a bit further away. So if you don't want to swim as much, get onto your captain at the start of the day and make sure they get you right up to it. But yeah, it wasn't too much of an issue, and the water just in general was super still. So it wasn't like you're swimming against a tide or a strong current, anything like that. You don't need to be a strong swimmer. There's about 3 or 4 people in our group who couldn't swim, which, I mean, if I couldn't swim, I don't know if I'd be jumping in the open water and see, but yeah, they thought they'd go for it, and yeah, they could easily get around. Stop number 5. Ballingshaw Reef. I thought this was super cool. So you're stopped in these really shallow corals. We stopped here for about 30 minutes, and again, it's very repetitive. Crystal clear waters, absolutely unbelievable scenery. I think, do you know what I mean, as a general rule, we've only had a couple of days in the Philippines, but the best water, the best kind of aquatic life that I've seen in my entire life thus far. And then you swim out into the corals, and these huge clams that are open, and then the tour guide waved at one of them underwater, and all the clams shut at the same time. So I thought that was pretty niche, pretty flair. Never seen anything like that. But again, you probably need to swim a little bit further here, be able to swim 200 meters on your own. So again, just something to be wary of. And stop number 6, the final stop of the day, the Pierre de Resistance, 15 minutes from stop number 5. We stopped here for about an hour, so this is Twin Peaks or Twin Lagoon. This is super flare, where you have like the coral coming off and the kind of cliffside on the edge of the rocks, and then it literally falls off into nowhere. It's so dark, it's so deep. If you're scared of dark and deep and super blue waters, maybe this isn't the stop for you, because we had to swim probably about 300-400 meters here, through a little like cavern, a little archway. If it's low tide, you swim under the archway. If it's high tide, there's a ladder. You step out of the water and jump onto the other side into the Twin Lagoon. You have to wear your life jacket here. So the lagoons and lakes, there's always like a lifeguard, I guess, or someone checking tickets as you go through. You can also get kayaks. I personally wouldn't get a kayak. It was £22 extra for 2 people. If you wanted to do this, they say, oh, you can go further, etc. There's plenty of time to swim all the way to the other side, and that was including people in our group who couldn't swim, who were getting like dragged there. So yeah, plenty of time to chill, plenty of time for a few JPEGs, jumping in, just absolutely having your way. But this was the furthest swim. You're probably looking at about 400 meters. Yeah, from where the boat drops you, swimming through the archway into Twin Lagoons and exploring. Super deep, super dark. So yeah, something to be wary of. Food front, as I kind of mentioned, was absolutely banging. Make sure you take water. I just want to reiterate that, because you'll only get 250 milliliters included. And the danger part about these beaches and days exploring are, these are so deceptive in terms of the days in general. the sun itself is so hot and so strong, but because, I mean, you're constantly in and out of the water, your sun cream's kind of washing off as well, and just when you're just looking at beautiful things, you're not thinking, oh wait, it's actually going to harm and hurt me. So do be aware, because if anyone follows me on Insta, you will see how red my arms are, absolutely burnt to a cinder. And this is the first day I've had them out in the sun in about 6 weeks. I've been putting sun cream on every day. I've had like 30, factor 30 on as well. So yeah, in absolute shambles. Be aware of these beaches. They are absolutely ruthless. And on that note, check out the Insta again. My arms, they are looking pretty good in one route, but in the other route, they are burnt to an absolute cinder. But that's day number 1. Let's get into day number 2. Day number 2, the Island Escapade boat trip. Golden sand, the most phenomenal beaches you'll see in your entire life. Again, lots of different options, lots of different companies to go with, and they all go to the exact same places, or they're at least meant to. We had a bit of a shambles with the engine overheated, so we spent about 2 hours stranded at sea. But yeah, don't let that deter you from the absolute beauty that both these places have to offer. We met an absolute legend of the scene, a gentleman called Brian, who sorted us out with all this drone footage. He's going to be setting up his YouTube channel shortly, so as soon as he does, I'll bang a link to his channel in the comments down below. Obviously, go give him a follow. But there's kind of 2 different elements to this stop. We did have to jump out into the water and walk across, so it's a little bit harder to take yeah, your phone with you, or if you're just happy to kind of carry it. I could probably just about stand up when you got out the boat, and I'm about 6'2", 6'3". For a little bit of the old context, one side of the Banana Island itself was super shallow, hot as a bath, crystal clear waters, so you can just sit in there, chill, relax, and take it all in. And then the other side of where the sandbank was a ridiculously large kind of coral reef that you can kind of swim in and out of. Loads of kind of marine life, loads of different kind of fish in there. There was a couple of these little white fish, I don't know what they were, but they just followed you, and I'm pretty sure one had a little nibble on the leg at one point. So I didn't spend too much time exploring there. I was worried about all these fish chasing me around. But yeah, phenomenal setting, really cool spot for a few photos. If you can be there later in the day, so most of the boats had left or leave here by about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So if your captain will go there as your last stop and stay a little bit later, you'll pretty much have that whole stop to yourself. And as you can kind of see from the macro scale footage or the close-up footage, the beach is absolutely unreal. And again, yeah, shout out to Brian. He was doing shots of us in the water, lying on our back. He was doing shots of us running down the beach. It was just absolutely ruthless scenery. And yeah, this was absolutely top draw. Both the beaches we went to today, yeah, couldn't speak highly enough of. So the other one we went to was called Barracuda Island. Again, that is not how you say it. So the name will be on the screen and in the description itself. It was about a 5-minute walk from where the boat dropped you, just over a little sand ridge, and then to the beach. And this is what I would anticipate if Apple were looking for like a stock photo of like a tropical beach paradise as your laptop background, or like an extra from Pirates of the Caribbean. This is the exact spot. Blue, turquoise, again, crystal clear. There's a lot of repetition in what I'm saying because all these beaches are absolutely unbelievable. I think in terms of like just raw beauty of a beach, I'd probably say this is the most beautiful. Banana Beach or Banana Island had 2 different parts to it. The coral, and it does help when you have the drone footage, and it gives you kind of like a different scale and different look of the environment itself. This is probably the best spot in terms of like taking photos because it's easy to take, yeah, your phone and stuff off the boat itself and explore. I think you definitely need to be having breakfast on these trips as well, just as a reminder. You're kind of not having lunch until 1 o'clock. They're picking you up at 8 in the morning, so either take some snacks or have something to eat in the morning itself. And yeah, if you want to see some of the JPEGs, again, follow me on Insta. All short form content is on there, and it's Gareth Wright 2 linked down below. But yeah, I'm probably going to overlay a few extra clips just to give you a little bit more of insight, tempt you, tease you, and yeah, just illustrate how kind of ridiculous these kind of beaches were, because yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Can't speak highly enough. Just be aware, there's a lot of time on the boats. That's the only price you have to pay, because when you're there, you cannot complain. They are phenomenal. When you're exploring, adventuring, you're going to spend most time out at sea, and I think, like I say, that's the kind of main things to highlight I want to illustrate about our experience and time here. However, there's one little place, Mary's Chillet Cafe and Bar. This place is absolutely next level. It does help that they understand allergies, and obviously with my nut allergy, they've been aware of that, and they can cook food without, and they have so many good things on offer. So yeah, cannot speak highly enough. We've had pretty much everything off their menu. We're talking eggs Benedict, super runny, gooey eggs in the middle. It's just the things you love to see. A little bit of bacon, poached eggs, and waffle number. They had syrup, they had cinnamon sauce and chocolate sauce. I was absolutely coating them in the old cinnamon sauce, obviously getting those sugars on board and fueling yourself up for the day or even ahead, depending on how you look at it. There's just too many bangers to kind of list here. The Caesar salad, silly amounts of eggs, silly amounts of chicken, huge portions, nice bit of Parmesan in the mix itself. So yeah, getting the old nutrients in the system. Ridiculous scenes. They had so many good drinks as well, like different shakes, like banana milkshakes, chocolate milkshakes, strawberry shakes, and the coffees as well were absolutely next level. I think the best one was the caramel macchiato, but I don't know if this is just in the Philippines or just at, yeah, Mary C's. The coffees are so strong, like absolute rocket fuel. So yeah, do bear that in mind. They will be blowing your head off, but they will be getting you absolute caffeine out of your mind and fueling you up for the day itself. Two things to highlight if you're going to go there for dinner. One is the chicken schnitzel and gravy. The mushroom gravy, I was skeptical at first. Us northerners, we know our gravy, but this was absolutely banging. Got this a couple of times, and one of the other fan favourites in the team was the burger and chips, so sticking to those absolute staples. But yeah, it literally had beef, ham, cheese, bacon, and obviously yeah, beef burger in the mixer as well. So yeah, the food here is absolutely phenomenal. I'll put kind of the prices in the description down below, but you're probably looking at about £2 for a shake, £2.50 for a coffee, and then mains were kind of £5 to £7. So yeah, silly value, silly quality, and obviously the most unbelievably friendly people working in there. Get it on the list. Outro time, baby. We've only had 3 days exploring here, but like I say, we've had unbelievable experiences. So as you've seen from like the footage, it's as if you're on a different planet. I kind of picture it as like Pandora from Avatar. That's kind of what it feels like, and you mix it in with this absolutely unbelievable sunset on the way back from one of the boat trips, and yeah, it only adds to our thoughts on the environment. Yeah, that it is Coron and the surrounding area. We've not super explored Coron, so obviously I can't speak too much of that, but I feel as if the best things to do are get out on a boat, get to the islands, and that's where the kind of best scenery is from kind of what we've been discussing with people at the minute. It's a super unique landscape. Do you know what I mean? We've all been to nice beaches, but I think for me, this tops every single one. We've been to the Maldives earlier this year, and it's way, way, way above that. So I would definitely say this is a bucket list destination. It does help when, do you know what I mean, the prices are a lot more affordable, like under £25 for a whole day boat trip. With lunch included. I think that's pretty bloody good. But if you have been to Coron and feel there are like cool things to do, cool things to see, drop a message in the comments down below so we can go check those out. Obviously, I need to highlight Mary C's again. Insane food. If you're looking for breakfast, lunch or dinner, a little bit of something for everyone. All the food, all the drinks, absolutely banging. Whilst you're in the comments, let me know about somewhere else to check out. Hit that subscribe button. Still en route to 2K subscribers. Been an insane year so far. And me and Em are heading on a 3-day, 2-night boat trip to El Nido tomorrow. So the content in the pipeline is absolutely silly. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, the chef is always cooking. Let's get it.